Oh, hello.
Oh my gosh, I like those glasses. Are you welding this afternoon?
Oh, geez.
First of all, welders make great money. I'd be totally down.
Yeah.
They do.
Is that
welders,
a vintage Chicago Bears shirt? Is that what that is? That what that is?
This is an original. Before the Rockies were a professional team, I guess they had like a semi-pro team here.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of transitioned a little bit and tried to keep it. So this is like the semi-pro team. I think the Rockies are 30 years old now, so yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
We're joined by comedian Al Jackson. Al is one of my favorite human beings. He is featured on the Daily Blast Live. Al is a studious sort. They don't really let him let loose as much as I'd like them to on the Daily Blast Live. Maybe
we're going to hire you as an executive producer. I want you to come in and we're going to loosen everything up. Tom's that coach that like comes in like, hey, I'm going to let the players really take advantage of the team. Next thing you know, there's 3 hookers on the bench instead of your power forward.
A little bit of razzle dazzle. Are you ever during the show? Do you ever? You're talking something fairly serious. Do you ever think of a great joke and just go, God, I wish I could say this?
Oh my goodness, yes. You know what? I just think. It's not even, honestly, they don't tell us to say or not say anything. You know what I'm concerned about more than anything when I'm talking is just, I don't want to hear there's so much, there's like every pocket of the internet just has like, you can't make a joke about this. You can't make, because everybody's got a mafia. If you talk, like we've been talking about Taylor Swift, like everybody has to now because she is the epicenter of the universe. I don't care. But apparently we cannot have a conversation without her. But if you talk crazy about Taylor Swift, like her Swifties will take your life apart.
Yeah.
Like they are, I don't think people really understand. Like they're when they say that people have armies, like their fans will destroy your web presence. They'll find old photos of you. They'll dox where your kids go to elementary school. Like it's really because the internet pulls in fans, like fans of Bob and Tom, but it also pulls in what I said. The people that used to in 1977, they would have just been a guy that died in his apartment in New York City, and then they would find like 1,700 spiral notebooks talking about how he was actually President Nixon or something crazy. Like now that guy has a platform. He used to just be in his, So all the insane people have united, and it just leads to you just thinking, if I say that I prefer Burger King over McDonald's, do I want to get 9,000 emails? Well, must be nice, Mr. Television. We all die at the end of this. Can we laugh a little bit? So I love this show. I just love to just talk with regular people. I'm so over everybody's like, I'm part of the Taylor Swift nation, and you're not. You're on your keyboard. Go.
Part 2 of my question is, so the Daily Blast Live, you do a lot of serious topics. You have a little bit of fun. But if you ever, in the middle of your thing, you think of some great joke, and you go, God, I wish I could. That's really funny. I got to remember that for later. Then the break ends, and you go, oh, wait a minute. What was I going to say? And you forget the joke.
Yes, you'll do that, or you'll just go, man, I should have just gone for it. Because my boss, Bert Durow, he started Jerry Springer. He was the EP on that. He was the EP on Sally Jesse Raphael. My boss is an old school, like the old school, like Jewish executive producer that just he loves and consumes entertainment, and he loves, for me, he's like, go for it, dude. He loves comedy. He's like, he at night he watches like old Johnny Carson's and just breaks down he's like a fan of television and comedy. He would never tell me not to say anything. It's just it's so weird. It's not your boss anymore. It's the viewers that kind of make you hold back because I don't want to offend.
Now, I'll give you a real quick thing. I'm good friends with Haywood Banks.
Yeah, shout out. He's the mayor, right?
Every once in a while, Haywood Banks will call me up with a really... he's the comedian. He'll call me up.
Did you say you were friends with Haywood Banks?
Yeah, he did.
And meant it? Did you mean it
we
to
didn't
be
know.
like a brag?
Yeah.
No, I'm telling Al a story.
Okay, all right.
But Haywood, as you know, has the cleanest act in showbiz. Haywood could play he could play a Jewish temple, an Islamic gathering, whatever that would be, or a Baptist church. But every once in a while, Haywood will call me with an incredibly dirty joke or premise, going, "Oh God, I can't do this," but. You can.
Yeah. Tell someone.
Hey, Tom, you're a degenerate. You should try this premise.
Now, Al, we were talking about something, and you guys may have touched on this in the Daily Blast Live. If you did, I didn't see that episode, which is this whole thing about phone etiquette.
We did talk about that. I was really fascinated with that topic. I love that. What do you guys think?
Well, I think it's true.
Yeah.
A couple different rules, but for apparently everyone under 25, you never call anyone cold. You just don't phone them. You text, and you don't leave voicemails anymore.
I don't leave voicemails just because I know people won't listen to them. But everybody's communication style is different. Like, I don't leave voicemails, but if we're being honest, I don't know about y'all, I don't really check my voicemails. Is that weird?
I don't check mine.
I cut mine off.
Well, now you can read them, so I don't listen to them. I just read them and then delete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back in the day, I used to have my own 800 number. Remember that? I had an 800
Yes, we
voicemail
do.
number.
We
That you
remember.
never answered it,
No, that was the whole
and you
point.
never reviewed it. You
I
just-
reviewed it. I'd get in the car and listen to it.
You would.
Oh, really?
You
Did you ever call anybody back?
I doubt it, but the point is...
Do you guys remember like original phone etiquette though? Like my grandmother was so old school with it, Tom. My grandmother from Shaker Heights. She was like the last to get call waiting. Because from her generation, it was disrespectful to be talking to, someone and say, somebody else is calling and they're more important than you.
Yeah.
Like if we're on the phone, we're on the phone.
Or did you have to do this when you answer the phone? Lee residence, Christy speaking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Al, do you know about? Do you
We
know
had
about?
to do that.
Do you know about party
Absolutely.
lines?
Oh, my
Anybody
God.
old enough? Anybody old
Oh,
enough?
yeah.
I
We had a
remember-
party line at the farm at my grandmother's house, yes.
My mother had a party line.
You know what a party line is, Mr. Oskey?
A bunch of people sharing the same phone line.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if it was two rings, it was like ring, 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 ring.
Yep.
That'd be Chip Ironside next door. If it was one ring, it would be us.
You live next to Raymond Burr?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That was up in Harbor Springs, absolutely. Yeah, but
Now,
this is
were
a-
party lines the original kind of I wouldn't even say Tinder, but like people did meet on those.
Yeah.
Like if you would, so like I mean, was that like the almost like the prehistoric dinosaur bones of just like meeting randos and then meeting them in real life?
well, you could
Yeah.
listen. If it was two rings and you were one, you could pick up and listen to the
Yeah.
You
conversation.
know what? I've heard a lot of guys say the word rando, but no one says it like Al Jackson.
And Al
Bunch of rando.
Al taught me rando. Well, Al, we'll get away from phone etiquette, and we will move on to words that I need to be informed of. What have we got?
Oh, Tom, we've got words and phrases this week. So let's kick it off. Tom, if somebody said, "Come on, dude, you know the rules, no parking," what would they be referencing to? What would they be saying to you? If Chicky looked at you and was like, "Hey, Tom, dude, no parking here."
That means that woman that he's talking to is yours, and you got to go away, and I'm taking back over.
You're pretty close. That's
No
not
kidding.
exactly it. But Chick, I'm so shocked that you got that. I thought you were going to say on the dance floor.
No parking on the dance floor. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so that
Tom,
means
explore that thought.
Okay, so that means if Ace were dancing with Kelly, I'd walk up, "Hey, Ace, no parking. She's mine on the dance floor." Then I would go into one of my boogaloo or frug moves.
Yeah, that'll.
Yeah.
Did I get it right?
You know what? I will absolutely, because I was so sure that this is the only phrase we were going to get to, because the way that I use it, it's more in theory. You're doing like a physical, like if you guys are both there. With no parking would be like if I told you, "Hey, Tom, I just want to let you know I'm really into Christy Lee. Like I'm just scared to ask her out, but man, she's the total woman." And if you had feelings for Christy Lee and you wanted to ask her out, but I told you I like her, bro code, you're going to back off and let me at least shoot my shot. But if I don't shoot my shot, now I'm just kind of parking on it because you feel weird approaching her, but I'm not doing anything. So like you might tell, Chicky, like, "Look, I like Christy Lee too. And Al is straight parking right now. Like, should I just usurp him?"
Wow.
No, and I would tell Tom, you go over and tell Christy that she's either going to go out with you or you're going to fire her.
Like the good old days.
That's good old days. Yeah.
And by the way, no backup parking. That's what I heard. So I think I got it wrong. I will not take a win on that one.
No. I give you credit for that. And I did want to throw a quick question at you guys because it's in the audience because it's a very there's no direct answer, but my friend and I were talking. We have just these weird, deep conversations, and I asked him, "When do you think that we went from the old world of entertainment, which we all kind of were, into the new one?" Because I feel like comedy clubs, the radio, podcasts, everything was kind of loose until maybe 2017 or 18, and then it just got really ratcheted up. I remember what we used to go on in comedy clubs and how people interact, and now it's very corporate. And I don't know if that's because a lot of people got fired, but when do you feel like you couldn't get away with as much?
It's cancel culture. Well, you mentioned it before.
Yes.
It's out there now. I mean, you can't do any accents anymore. I mean,
and Tom is livid.
I've never heard anyone say anything more wistful in my life.
I miss the accents.
Well, Tom, my argument to that.
Remember that one accent? You could bring your eyes into it, too?
The good old days.
I walked into the place where I get my mail, and there was a guy losing his mind screaming, and he happened to be of a specific ethnic heritage, and it was hilarious. Sorry. It was funny.
No, Tom, and here's my issue with not being able to do accents, and it's what you just said now because you have to protect your job. There is nothing wrong with having an accent. There is nothing there's this whole thing where people were like, can you dress like a mariachi band player for Halloween? And it's that's wrong. It's cultural appropriation. I'm like, first of all, mariachi bands are dope. The uniforms are dope. And I'm trying to show homage. I think my girl competed professionally in mariachi. And it's but if I'm a different ethnicity, I can't show. Could I dress up like the Beefeaters in front of the London Tower? Yes. So what are we doing? We're just eliminating mariachi from we don't say it because we don't want to get in trouble. Whatever ethnicity you're describing, it's not a bad thing that they had an accent. The person that's allowing you not to do that, as long as it's not mocking them just for having it, I don't have a problem with it. It's a way to erase people that you deem that whoever the PC police deem is different. So why can't you wear a mariachi for Halloween? I love it. I think it's
so. What you're saying is you could go as mariachi Barbie. And
you absolutely, that's so crazy, Tom. As long as you throw Barbie in there, it's not.
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
Oh, look, it's Black Barbie Mariachi Al.
Yeah, and everybody's like,
now you're safe.
They threw a little Barbie in there.
Al, you got to tell me, you got a new album out there, and how does one access
Mariachi Barbie?
No, I like that. No, it's Earnest.
It's called In Earnest.
In Earnest.
Yes.
Where does one get it, Al?
And you can get it anywhere that you get your music streamed from, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. I don't need to go through all of them, but yes, anywhere where you get your music,
In Earnest.
You can find them in Earnest. You can find it on my website, Al Jackson Live.
We have time for one more quick word or phrase. Al, go.
Tom, that word is liquid. What does that mean?
Liquid. Well, I know fluid would mean gender fluidity. Is currently a thing.
That's kind of fluidity.
Is liquid? Is it referring to anything that actually is liquid? Is this a?
No, it's a figure of speech. So let's just say you and my man Chicky are hanging out after the show, a little late night, 11:30, which is late for y'all. And you just turn and say, "How are you feeling?" Man, I am liquid right now. What would you be saying to him?
Did they get this from Bruce Lee because he said "be like water" or something like that? Is that you're supposed to be cool, liquid?
I think does it mean that your musculature is giving up? You're so tired.
I'm just like a big blob.
Yes, it's like you could. It's like there's no bones left to you.
Yeah, maybe some things
just
that,
loose and tired.
Drink just make you but it's not even tired. You're just going with the flow, baby. Very music festival 4 p.m. the big act's not on, but whatever you took at 10 o'clock is kicking in.
Liquid.
Yeah,
So even though
the
you're
opening
taking,
act.
say, a gummy, you're not actually drinking alcohol. So the liquidity that you're experiencing is not from liquid, ironically.
Right.
I got it.
There you go, Tom.
Boy, do it, you have it.
You know
Oh,
what?
man.
For those of you who speak fluent Tom, he does have it.
Yes,
That's
he
exactly
does.
right.
Hell, I haven't been liquid. I haven't been liquid in about 15 years, as far as I can tell. I'm too
Yeah,
busy.
That
You're-
ends tonight.
Yeah, no joke. You're overdue, dude.
It's a school night, Al.
Take him out.
Big show
Give him
tomorrow.
liquid.
Al Jackson's one of my favorite human beings, and I'm not kidding. You
Yes.
can see Al in the Daily Blast Live. Whenever I watch Al, I always think you're just itching to go, all right, bitch. Let me tell you something.
He has to work with her.
I know, but I'm just saying. I just
my
sometimes
co-hosts are
sometimes
so
I
dumb.
can just see him just trying to hold back.
Tom, I'll tell you this before I run. My co-hosts are our age. They're like us. They're like, dude, what is this? There's a lot of the PC police are younger. Like my co-hosts are like, they're not PC at all. Trust me.
Could you do a thing where you put on those giant boxing gloves and take on one of those ladies in the ring?
Oh, a little foxy boxing. I'm here for that.
I think that's
I'm
also
the ugly
illegal.
half.
Thank you, Al. It's always a
Hey,
great
I love
pleasure.
y'all.